Influencers. One of my favorite topics. We've all had probably so many. Sometimes they're in a split second. Sometimes, this person says the right thing, right time, it just hits. Sometimes they're a lifetime. Can you share two or three people that have been influencers in your life?
Well, anything that anyone has read about me, whether you go on our website or my book, I mean, Helen Hill, my mother, by far in light years, is one. To recognize that she did all that she did for her family, for children, and the things that she sacrificed for me to make sure I could sit here with you. It's amazing. I know the path I've come. And I know this woman wanted nothing more than goodness and great for me. So her lessons live on every day. We all say we don't want to be like our parents, and then you find out like, oh my God, I am. I love that commercial, right? So I actually just hope that I could actually keep her proud. I know that I stand on big shoulders, and hers is one. Another influencer, I think about Maya Angelou. I actually was blessed enough to get an award, and she was also an awardee. And I remember calling them back and like, are you sure? And I said, what, I don't necessarily need to show up here because I feel that awarded already that my name is alongside Maya Angelou. When I was at the University of Pennsylvania, there was an opportunity. She was speaking at a local college and talking about fear and all these things. And I'm like, I don't know how to get there, but I was so wanting in. I'm like, you can't let this get in the way. And I found the way there, 2 buses and a long walk later. But I know why the cage bird sings. And if there's anybody who's struggling with anything and adversity and heart, I mean, she had it. And yet she comes through this life of hardship, right? Everything imaginable, not speaking her own fears, to be this poet laureate and this eloquent speaker. And then backstage, by the way, when we were there, she had in a wheelchair, she had breathing tubes on, and I was like, oh my God, I was worried about her. She walked on stage with such a brilliance and delivered one of the most moving speeches I had ever heard. And I was blown away. And it means that, no matter how hard life is, no matter what's going on, we know how to rise to the occasion when we have this desire to just deposit good out there. So she's absolutely one. And then, the other one is kind of hard in that there's like a long list of people.
All right.
And then ultimately, but end of the day, I will tell everybody I'm a faithful entrepreneur. I do believe in my God, and I know that my life has been blessed because of my beliefs. And so if there is anything that really does influence who I am, is the fact that I can turn over anything, problems, and hope, and then know that he promised us an abundant life. And so I would say, in general, like, how do I not talk about my faith and what he represents for me is having this impact. I have other people, certainly, but God plays his role, has always been. It is the way I found my way out of darkness and other things. And knowing that that was his promise for me is another way that allows me to step out here on faith.
No, I think that's beautiful. And no matter what anybody calls their particular faith, it doesn't really matter. It's about what is out there.
And to your point, and that's exactly right. We all think that we got to handle things on our own, that you're alone, and when we're not. And that's really the power, that whether it's your faith or a confidant or someone is there to help you. So whatever you believe in, this is not about my religion. It's about what we all know is out there, that there's a universe out there helping us. Yeah. There are universal laws that exist. I find that being in stillness and connecting with that, it's become truly my secret power, is being able to learn to be still. It wasn't always the case.
I know.
So, what's that?
I know the feeling.
Right? But we have to plan. I'm going to be intentional about that as well. But you're right. It doesn't matter about faith. For me, that's my influence. But we have the ability to, illuminate a path, and all the things that we do. We can step in and think about how we shine our light and how we can blaze new trails. We all have the power to do all those things, but that just takes a level of faith. And it's how we also think about it, because part of my journey is really understanding, and even I have my band on, is how we script what we say out, because, we're manifesting certain things through our actions and in our language. And I had to control that. It was probably one of the biggest things that I've had to master in my life to grow a company, to try to go out and do good, is being able to recognize that what we think about shows up in our life.
Yeah, I had to worry about my sarcasm. That's what I had to worry about. But
Well, I need to sing. I got to sing you an I Can band, because I wear this because I say, anytime I had a negative thoughts, like you had to pop it, like, well, or limiting thought, oh, I don't know if I can find the money. Yes, you can find the money. You have a great idea. Versus just saying, and you stop, and then just, resetting my mind and allow me to keep moving on and finding where the opportunities are and overcoming obstacles. But your sarcasm, I'm sure, is welcomed by most.
No. But I will leave you with this. Maya Angelou it's my favorite quote of all time for anybody, and it's most people won't remember what you said. Most people won't remember what you've done, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Phil,
Yeah,
it's so true. And if you think about that in the context of leaders who care, isn't that ultimately it? That is how you make the people within your organizations feel and belong. That's the secret sauce. You just said it in a beautiful quote by one of the women that I admire.
me too. I wish I would have met her, but yeah, it is that. And guess what? The better you make them feel, then you'll probably then start hearing each other even more because of that, and so on. So thank you for sharing. We'll have to do a sequel for sure. I really appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you, and thank you.